All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the monthly meeting of the Cobb County Board of Zoning Appeals. And as is our custom at this time, I'm going to ask Officer Ott if he would come forward, and if we'd all please rise, Officer Ott will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Officer Ott. For those of you that are here for the first time, let me give you a little insight on how we're going to conduct the meeting today. The first thing we will concern ourselves with is the consent agenda. These applications have not only been reviewed by this board, but also our zoning board and and all our zoning administrators, plus our engineers and all the other departments. There is no known opposition to any of these particular cases, and we will go forward with Mr. Peterson, our head zoning administrator, will read each case into the record. The applicant, he or she, will identify themselves by raising their hand. Likewise, if there's anybody here in opposition, if they would raise their hand, and if we do have opposition, we will pull that particular case and hear it in its regular numeric order. Once we complete that, we have one held case, and we will hear that next. The process will remain the same. Once we get into hearing a case, the applicant, he or she, will come forward. Our officer of the day is Ms. Kim Wakefield. Those in opposition will also come forward. Officer Wakefield will swear everybody in, and at that time, the applicant will have a 10-minute period to make his presentation known to this board, and likewise and collectively, the opposition will have a 10-minute period to make their opposition known to this board. Once we complete that, that should complete us for our business today. John, do you have any special announcements you need to make?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. There's one case on today's printed agenda, which has been withdrawn and will not be heard today. That's variance case V29, Racetrack Petroleum. That case was withdrawn and will not be heard today. Additionally, there are 4 cases on today's printed agenda which have been continued by the staff or the Board of Zoning Appeals. First case is variance case V82 of 2015, Philip Wallace. That case was continued by the Board of Zoning Appeals until the May 11, 2016 variance hearing, so that case will not be heard today. Variance case V140 of 2015, EZ69 RH Windy Hill LLC. That case was continued by the staff until the March 9th, 2016 variance hearing, so V140 of 2015 will not be heard today. Variance case V30, Racetrack Petroleum. That case was continued by the staff until the March 9th, 2016 variance hearing. And lastly, variance case V31, John Irwin. That case was continued by the staff until the March 9th, 2016 variance hearing, so that case will not be heard today. I would like to ask the people in today's audience to please put your phones on silent mode. The ringing of the phone does interfere with the broadcast and presentation. So if you have a cell phone, please put it on silent mode. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'm ready to start the consent agenda.
Okay, let's get right into it, John.
Thank you. Cobb County Board of Zoning Appeals, variance hearing consent agenda for February 10th, 2016. Variance case V153 of 2015, Rex D. Houghton, request a variance to waive the maximum allowable impervious surface from 35% to 56.14%, to waive the setback for an accessory structure over 650 square feet for the existing approximately 960 square foot frame bathhouse with overhang from required 100 feet to 18 feet adjacent to the southern property line and to 50 feet from the rear property line, and to waive the setback for an accessory structure over 650 square feet for a proposed approximately 1,400 square foot garage with overhang from required 100 feet to 6 feet adjacent to the northern property line and 65 feet from the rear property line. In land lot 245 of the 20th District, the property is located on the east side of Valley Reserve, south of Mountain Reserve. Staff recommends approval of the variance, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments as shown on the site plan last revised February 8, 2016. Maximum of 40% impervious surface, and stormwater management to approve the final plan during the permitting process. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V-153? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V-18, Parviz Abedi requests a variance to waive the maximum allowable impervious surface from 35% to 41.08%, and to waive the rear setback for an accessory structure under 650 square feet for an approximately 375 square foot pool house from required 35 feet to 20 feet. In land lot 688 of the 16th district, the property is located on the west side of Johnson Ferry Road, south of Oak Lane. Staff recommends approval, subject to the encroachments as shown on the site plan last revised January 29, 2016, maximum of 40% impervious surface, and stormwater management to approve the final plan during the permitting process. The applicant is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V-18? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V-20, Dwayne D. Allen requests a variance to waive the rear setback for an accessory structure under 650 square feet for a proposed 210 square foot deck and gazebo required 35 feet to 9 feet in land lot 61 of the 16th district. The property is located on the north side of Farm Hill Court, west of Old Farm Court. Staff recommends approval, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments as shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on November 16, 2015, and applicant to permit the accessory structure. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V-20? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V-21, Jeffrey LaPlante requests a variance to allow an accessory structure, a metal frame carport number 1, to the front side of the principal structure, to waive the side setback for an accessory structure under 650 square feet for an approximately 360 square foot metal frame carport number 1, required 10 feet to 3 feet, adjacent to the southern property line, to waive the setbacks for an accessory structure over 650 square feet for an approximately 750 square foot two-frame garage, or two-story frame garage, for required 100 feet to 7 feet, adjacent to the southern property line, and to 26 feet adjacent to the rear property line, and to waive the rear setback for an accessory structure under 650 square feet for an approximately 168 square foot wood shed, required 35 feet to 19 feet. In land lot 1292 of the 19th district, the property is located on the west side of Zenola Drive, north of Lake Circle. Staff recommends approval of the variance, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments are shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on December 4, 2015, development and inspections comments, and no dwelling use or commercial use of the accessory buildings. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V-21? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V-22, Lockheed Martin Corporation requests a variance to waive the front setback from required 50 feet to 30 feet for parcels 1 and 2, waive the rear setback from required 40 feet to 10 feet for parcel number 2, and waive the minimum number of parking spaces from 244 parking spaces to 138 parking spaces for parcel 2 in land lot 443, 444, 493, and 494 of the 17th district. The property is located on the east side of Dixie Avenue, south of George McMillan Drive, and north of Broad Street. Staff recommends approval, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments as shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on December 9, 2015. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case of V-22? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V-23, Jason Brooks requests a variance to waive the rear setback from required 30 feet to 20 feet in land lot 699 of the 16th district. The property is located at the southern terminus of Chartley Place, south of Piedmont Glen Court. Staff recommends approval of the variance, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments as shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on December 9, 2015, stormwater management comments, and applicant permit structure. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V-23? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V-24, Andrea Lobucher requests a variance to waive their side setback from required 10 feet to 3 feet adjacent to the eastern property line in land lot 768 of the 17th district. The property is located on the north side of Valley View Drive and west of Orchard Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments as shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on December 10, 2015, and development and inspections comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V24? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V25, Harold Grove requests a variance to allow an accessory structure, which is a wooden shed, to be to the front of the principal building. Waive the side setback for an accessory structure under 144 square feet for an approximately 120 square foot wooden shed from required 5 feet to 3 feet adjacent to the western property line, and waive the rear setback from required 35 feet to 23 feet in land lot 143 of the 20th District. The property is located on the south side of Memorial Parkway, west of Jim Owens Road. Staff recommends approval of the variance, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments as shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on December 10, 2015, and the landscape plan be approved by the county arborist and implemented by the applicant within 6 months of today's date. The landscape plan shall be designed to provide full visual screening within 3 years of planting. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V25? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V26, Ken Adams requests a variance to waive the front setback from required 30 feet to 27 feet in land lot 284 of the 17th District. The property is located on the south side of Caruth Drive, west Atlanta Street. Staff recommends approval, subject to the following condition. The encroachments as shown on the site plan dated December 6, 2015. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V26? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V27, Stephen K. and Linda M. Beving request a variance to waive the rear setback from required 5 feet per a previous variance V25 of 1989 to 4 feet, and waive the side setback from required 10 feet to 9 feet adjacent to the southern property line in land lot 35 of the 20th District. The property is located on the east side of Hilltop Drive, north of Autry Church Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to the following conditions. The encroachments are shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on December 10, 2015, and applicant to permit the structure. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V27? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V28, Charles H. Garrett requests a variance to allow an accessory structure, which is a shed, to be to the side of the principal structure in land lot 163 of the 20th District. The property is located on the east side of Owens Point Trail, south of Fane Terrace. Staff recommends approval of variance, subject to the following conditions. Remove old structure from property within 60 days. Obtain building permit for accessory structure to the side of the principal residence. Install siding with trim on accessory structure to match the principal residence. An applicant to execute a sanitary sewer easement hold harmless agreement with the county. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V28? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Mr. Chairman, that completes the consent agenda.
It is back to this board for discussion or comments or questions. Any questions from fellow board members? Not hearing any, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
And second by Mr. Gunther. No other comments? Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It carries, Madam Secretary, for approval 5-0. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you that were on the consent agenda, your business is complete with us for today. We'd like to thank you for coming. We'd like to advise you to drive carefully going home and spend some more money in Cobb County to help us keep our roads and taxes intact. With that said, good afternoon. Have a great day. Okay, John is there quietly leaving. We have one case that is a held case from
We do
last
have one
month.
hold case to hear, Mr. Chairman.
Pardon me?
We do have one hold case to hear.
Yes, and that was held from last year.
Yes, yes. Variance case V167 of 2015, Karen M. Puckett Request a variance to waive the rear setback from required 40 feet to 15 feet adjacent to the eastern property line, and to increase the maximum allowable fence height from required, or in front of, or to the side of the house in a residential district from required 6 feet to 10 feet in land lot 756 of the 16th district. The property is located on the east side of Spring Circle, east of Bishop Lake Road. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V167? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in?
Okay. Anybody that wants to give testimony, please come forward, get sworn in. All right, sir, for the purpose of the record, if you would, start off by giving us your name, please.
It's Kemp Puckett.
Okay, Mr. Puckett, go ahead and tell us what you want.
I had applied to have the fence, I guess that's what we agreed on was to cut it off at 8 feet high, where it was at 10 feet.
Oh, that's right, yes, sir, uh-huh.
And my neighbors who protested last time agreed to that.
All right, do we have an agreement? I do have a copy of an email. You want to tell us what this is about?
That's what he thought that I should come to y'all and have some sort of form that would be filled out by the county, and then.
Well, I tell you what, just tell me in simple terms what you and your neighbor have agreed to. That's what I want to hear.
We've agreed to wherever the fence is above 8 feet to cut it off to 8 feet, and anywhere that it is lower than 8 feet to never raise it up.
And never raise it up.
Yes, sir.
So, in other words, anything that's 8 feet or above, you're going to cut it off,
Yes,
and
sir.
you're going to maintain everything else at 8 feet, except where it's below 8 feet, you're not going to touch it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, for the purpose of the record, is there anybody here in opposition to case V167? Hearing and not seeing anybody, it's back to this board for discussion. Ms. Dee Gay represents the district, so I'm going to turn it over to Ms.
Yeah.
Gay.
Thank you so much for your comment. I spoke to you and you agreed to do the cutting back to 8 feet, and I'm in agreement with that. And I
Okay.
hope that everybody else here is, and I'm turning it back to you for a vote.
No, you go ahead and make the motion. We're ready for a
No,
motion.
I move that we approve the 8 feet across the board on his fence. And also according to this, any other staff comments that will.
Okay, thank you.
Kristen, probably say that.
I was just gonna ask if we should put a deadline on
Time
the
limit
cutting
on
back.
getting
a
this
time
complete.
limit.
Would you be able to get this done within 2 months?
Oh, yes, sir. I can get it done
So
quick as
let-
you want me to.
Within 2 months or 30 days?
30
or-
days would
30
be
days
good
will be,
then.
No, that would be fine.
okay, within
Yeah.
30 days, here.
We'll add that, and the second is
Will I-
okay with that, and do I have a second?
I'll second. And could the existing fence that's below 8 feet remain, never to be
Remains the
raised?
same, yes, everything remains, all across the board is 8 feet.
Okay.
Or no, what,
Yeah, but anything below 8 feet to remain, just where it
Remain
is,
the same,
remain the
Yes, ma'am.
same, okay.
yes.
Christie, are you okay with that? Okay, for the record, she's okay. Any other comments? Mr. Peterson, do you have a
Mr.
comment?
Peterson?
Mr. Chairman and Board, can we just clarify that, this is the plan that Mr. Puckett gave me a few weeks ago, and the
Yes.
highlighted part is where it's gonna be 8 feet tall?
Okay,
Can we just stipulate it's 8 feet along the Langley property line, which is just this one? We don't want 8 feet around the entire thing. Would that be okay?
that does make sense. So amend the motion to include the survey dated when, John?
Dated today,
Okay, and to include the property line, the common property line.
between him and Langley.
Okay, amend the motion to include the survey that was dated
Today.
today.
Today's date.
Today, and to, what else?
Langley's property line.
Oh, and to remain 8 feet across the property line of your neighbors. And the fence that is behind it, that is already there, will not increase at all.
Right,
It will
yeah.
remain the same, correct?
Okay.
Yes, okay, and you have 30 days to complete that motion, that
Okay.
agree,
right.
okay. So I agree that that motion should be
Okay.
put back on the table.
Christie has a second. Are you okay with that? I think we've clarified it pretty good. If you got that, Robin. Robin is a miracle worker occasionally. So Robin, you've got that all down? All right. I've got a motion. I've got a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries for approval 5-0. John, what else do we have?
That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Let me just point out to Ms. Pam Mavry's here for one of our second meeting, and it's almost a record. It's 20 after. I don't want you to get too used to getting in and out of here too quick, but we're doing very well on our way today. Sir, you're completed and you can go.
Okay, thank you.
We need to approve the special call meeting.
All right, at this time, I need to call a special call meeting for the Planning Commission. Ms. Wade,
No, that's BZA, we just need to do BZA.
I've got all the BZA here, Judy. Have you done your plan?
She had to redo it, I'm sorry. Adopt the BZA.
Okay, all right, let's adopt, let me go back and adopt the BZA minutes for February the 8th and also January the 25th. Do I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Has the planning board already met?
Yes.
They have.
Right before you came.
All right, that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You're finished for today. You're welcome to leave or you're welcome to stay, but I'm going home. Goodbye.
You got to spend money.
I'm going to spend money too. Are we off?
We are.